this is a lesson on Unit 8 of the Full Blast Plus textbook for Form 4 pupils. So the unit is on Unit 8. The topic is image. Welcome everybody. So this is for the Form 4 Unit 8. The topic is image and the textbook we are using is Full Blast. Okay, let's look at the learning standards. First, you have the main skills, reading 3.1.2, understand specific details and information in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics. Then we have listening 1.1.6, understand independently longer simple narrative on a wide range of familiar topics. Then we have writing 4.1.4, express and respond to opinions and common feelings such as amusement, anger, and regret. And then the complementary skill, we have reading 3.1.3, guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided by other words and by context on a wide range of familiar topics. Let's watch this video. It is on 10 amazing illusions.
The pink straw on the left looks much smaller than the one on the right. In reality, they're exactly the same size. Take a look at this drawing and see if you can count the number of grey dots. As you try to focus on the grey dots, they'll vanish right in front of your eyes. Ask someone to put their hands together and then extend their two first fingers. Have them keep their first fingers around about an inch apart. Now gently circle around their fingers, asking them to imagine a loop of thread becoming tighter and tighter. Amazingly, their fingers will drift together. The lines in this grid are parallel to one another. However, if you move some of the rows to the side, the lines suddenly seem to slant up and down. In reality, they're still exactly parallel. The red shape and the black shape look completely different. They're exactly the same size. Ask someone to hold their hand against yours, and then using the thumb and first finger of their other hand to stroke the two first fingers. They will feel as if their first finger is completely numb. Take a look at this drawing. It appears to be a rabbit looking to your right or a duck looking to the left. It will keep flipping between the rabbit and the duck as your brain tries to figure out what's going on. Take a look at the two squares that the black arrowheads are pointing to. The top square looks much darker than the lower one. This illusion is created by the areas surrounding each square. This is simply a piece of paper with two holes cut out, but it allows us to mask off the surroundings. And suddenly you can see that the squares are indeed identical. The piece of paper marked A looks much bigger than the piece of paper marked B. However, put B below A and now B looks larger. Amazingly, in reality, they're exactly the same size. Now stare at the center of the spiral. Don't take your eyes off the center of the spiral. Keep on staring at the spiral. Keep staring at the center of the spiral. And now look at the back of your hand.
So try out these illusions and discover just how tricky it can be for your brain to accurately interpret the images from your eyes. Click on any of the images below to begin your exploration of the optical illusions. Are the pinwheels moving? So the answer is no, the wheels are not turning. The Moire effect can produce interesting and beautiful geometric patterns. In this illusion, you can see the word teach and its reflection. Can you read the reflection too? What does it say? The answer is learn. And then keep your eyes on the dot. Is it in the front or in the back of the cube? So the answer is ask a friend and see if they agree with you. Okay, now you are going to go to 2.0. So listen and read the article. Click on the speaker symbol to listen to the text. So we're going to listen later on. What is optical illusion? Optical illusions can use color, light, and patterns to create images that can be deceptive or misleading to our brains. The information gathered by the eye is processed by the brain, creating a perception that in reality does not match the true image. Perception refers to the interpretation of what we take in through our eyes. Optical illusions occur because our brain is trying to interpret what we see and make sense of the world around us. Optical illusions simply trick our brains into seeing things which may or may not be real.
Module 8. Image. 8a. Read.
B. Can you guess what photo manipulation is? Read the text quickly without paying attention to the missing sentences and check your answers. Don't believe everything you see. It is well known that most photographs of models and celebrities are an unrealistic portrayal of beauty. This is because many of the images have been edited using digital manipulation. Using computer software like Photoshop is so common that the word Photoshop has even entered dictionaries as a verb. The pressure to conform to what the media shows to be beautiful influences people's psychology negatively. You may think that the manipulation of photographs all began with the development of computer software, but photo manipulation is almost as old as photography itself. What you are actually seeing is a photo of the politician John Calhoun with the president's head stuck on it. These early photos were usually changed using ink, paint and airbrushes. But when photo editing software was invented, photo manipulation really took off. Recent developments have even made it possible to digitally edit moving pictures, making actors in a scene thinner, taller, fatter or smaller. Obviously, making people look slimmer by 10 kilos or making their eyes bigger to improve their looks is bending the truth too much. But how about changing the background to suit the colour of a dress? Or changing the colour of a model's eyes or hair? Is this acceptable? What about making a model's skin slightly smoother? The point is that everyone has their own opinion about when photo manipulation gets out of hand. It is important to understand the effect photo manipulation has on people, especially young people. It's harmless enough when girls have their hair cut like a famous actress, but having plastic surgery to change the shape of their nose or to make their lips bigger is more serious. The results are permanent and health risks are high. In some countries, a shocking 50% of girls from 16 to 21 have considered having plastic surgery to become better looking. However, these girls don't realize that they want to look like someone that isn't actually real. Some celebrities have started to rebel against photoshopping and have posted pictures of themselves on the internet so that people can see how much digital manipulation of photography is happening in the media. In the UK, the British Girl Guide Association has asked for all photoshopped images to be clearly labelled. Perhaps this way they will realise how fake the media's idea of beauty and perfection is and appreciate more genuine qualities in themselves.
Now we have the reading comprehension, which is C. Read the text again and complete gaps 1 to 6 with the sentences A to G below. There is one extra sentence which you do not need to use. So A. Take the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln standing at the desk from the 1860s, for example. B. Nowadays, It is very rare to find a photo in a magazine that hasn't been photoshopped in some way. C. They are strongly influenced by the images presented to them in the media and they enjoy copying a celebrity look. D. History has shown us that photo manipulation works best on celebrities. E. This would allow people to get a clearer picture of what's real and what's not. F. Most people disapprove of photo manipulation because they feel that a photograph should represent reality. G. However, it's important to be aware of the effects these images can have. Now, for D, match the highlighted words or phrases in the text with their meaning. There are two extra meanings which you do not need to use. Conform. Number 2, take off. 3, bend the truth. Rebel. 5, appreciate. 6, disapprove. So A, the meaning, change something so that it is not exactly true. B, make something illegal. C, recognize somebody's or something's value. D, think that somebody or something is not good. E, follow other people's rules or ideas. F, show or reveal. G, fight against. H, become successfully suddenly. Write your answers in the Google form below. You can click the link here and the link is given below here. So you can write your answer in the Google form. Next, we are going to go for listening. So, I'm going to play
Listen.
audio.
Listen. Listen to 5 people talking about clothes and appearance and match the speakers 1 to 5 with the statements A to F. There is one extra statement which you do not need to use. Speaker 1.
2 weeks ago, I went shopping with my sister. She wanted to buy a pair of jeans and I needed a new dress for the end of school party. I usually borrow something from her, but this year I really wanted to make a fashion statement. We spent ages looking around until we settled on 2 dresses, a black one and a red one. My sister was insisting that I buy the red one, but I wasn't so sure. Anyway, luckily for me, I chose the black one, because at the party there were about 6 girls all wearing the same red dress. They felt silly, and I looked great.
Speaker 2.
I was out clothes shopping with my brother last Saturday, when he suddenly decided his hair was too long. So, we popped into a hairdresser's, and he got the shortest haircut you have ever seen. Something close to a buzz cut. But to be honest, he looked pretty cool. Then I had a flash of madness and wanted to do the same. But just at the last minute, I changed my mind. I think you need to be really slim to look good with that kind of haircut. Anyway, when we got home, my brother had to listen to a whole evening of my parents shouting at him about how silly he was to get such a short haircut. Thankfully, it was only him they were shouting at.
Speaker 3.
I'd sort of realised I had a problem a few months ago. I bought a pair of jeans, but I had to buy them a size bigger than usual because they didn't fit. Then, a few weeks later, I tried the same jeans on and they were really tight again. There was only one answer for it. I stopped eating cakes and sweets and drinking all those soft drinks which are full of sugar. I even started using my brother's treadmill. Within a few weeks, I could easily fit into those jeans, but I didn't stop there. I lost lots of weight, and now I look and feel like a new person. I recommend it to everyone.
Speaker 4. I like to keep up with the trends, and some people say I'm a fashion victim. I change my hairstyle a lot, and if something isn't in fashion, I never wear it. My mum shouts at me because I spend all my money on clothes, but that's what I'm passionate about. What can I do? The only time I did go a bit too far was when I saw my favourite pop star wearing a blue outfit. She looked so cool. So, the next day I went shopping and got loads of items that were blue. I have to admit that it was a bit silly because most of the things stayed in my wardrobe, never to see the light of day. Speaker 5.
I've never been interested in fashion. I usually wear casual clothes, tracksuits, t-shirts, that sort of thing. And just because there was a school party coming up, why should I change? But my friend is the opposite of me, and he suggested I improve my image, just for one evening. I tried to argue with him, but it was hopeless. In the end, he offered to lend me one of his trendy shirts, so I accepted. I had a really great time at the party, but I don't think it had anything to do with the shirt. My friend rang me up a month later and told me to keep the shirt, since I liked it so much. But in reality, I'd forgotten all about it. It was under a pile of clothes in my room somewhere.
Now, let's check the answers. So, speaker 1 is C. If I had taken someone's advice, I would have made a mistake. Speaker 2 is E. I would have got in trouble if I had changed my appearance. Speaker 3 will be A. I changed my lifestyle in order to improve my image. And then speaker 4 will be I bought clothes but never wore them. And lastly, speaker 5, I borrowed something and didn't remember to give it back. Now we are at writing task 3.0. Write a letter giving advice. Discuss. Do you read advice columns in magazines? Why or why not? Do you think the advice they give is useful? Why or why not? Now read the letter below, which a girl wrote to an advice column of a magazine. What advice would you give her? Dear Agnes, I need some advice. I've got an exam coming up, and for the past few weeks I've been feeling overwhelmed. I'm worried I'm going to fail. I have as much homework and revision to do every night, as well as my hobbies such as tennis and volleyball, that I feel like I'm not doing anything as well as I should. My cousin's at another school, and during the exam period, he wasn't given any homework. It's so unfair. Also, my mom says I should give up my hobbies until after the exams, but I don't want to do this. How can I find time for everything without feeling like I'm not doing my best? Now read the advice given to the girl and compare it to the advice you would give her. Do you think Agnes' advice is helpful? So dear Troubled, I understand how you feel. Trying to find time for your homework and hobbies can make you feel anxious and exhausted. Here are some tips to help you deal with your problem. First of all, try to reassure your mother that you can cope, as you obviously don't want to fall out with her. I suggest meeting halfway. How about cutting down on the time spent on your hobbies without stopping them completely? It is also likely that your friends feel the same as you, so I advise meeting after school so you can all help each other. You could go to a different friend's house each day and study one subject each time. Being able to study with your friends will help you feel better and more supported. I hope my advice will be of some help. Doing a lot at once can be challenging, but the positive thing is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. In any case, university isn't far away, so this experience now will make life less stressful in the future. Good luck! Let's look at the planning, tips and tricks. When writing a letter giving advice, follow the plan below. Greeting, use the person's first name or pseudonym. Opening paragraph, refer to the problem and say why you are writing. Use phrases like, I was sorry to hear that you have got problems. I understand what you are going through. I hope the following advice will help you. I've given you your problem a lot of thought, and I've come up with a solution. Here are some tips to help you deal with your problem. Main part, which will be two paragraphs. Give your advice and make suggestions. Use phrases like, If I were in your shoes, maybe you should or maybe you shouldn't. I strongly advise you to. How about or what about? One thing you can do is, now for the closing paragraph, you can make a final comment. Use phrases like, I hope everything goes well, good luck. Let me know how everything turns out. I'm sure you'll work something out. There's no need to panic. You'll get over it. I hope I've been of some help to you. To sign off, use a signature ending and your first name below that. Tips. When writing a letter giving advice, address the person you're writing to in a friendly way and use informal language. Make various suggestions to help solve the problem. Start a new paragraph for every major point. Use appropriate expressions to give advice and make suggestions. Use linking words, phrases to list the different points. Writing a letter giving advice to Afan. D. Read this letter that Afan wrote to an advice column of a magazine and write back to him giving him advice. My problem is that since I got a part-time job, I've stopped working out at the gym. As a result, I've gained 10 kilos. Besides the fact that my clothes don't fit me anymore, I feel self-conscious. I've always been sensitive about my weight because I take after my dad and I tend to be on the heavy side. While surfing the net, I found a great raw food diet, which includes lots of vegetables and fruit and promises results. But when I told my mother about it, she told me to forget it. She says I need 3 balanced meals a day and refuses to let me cut out meat and carbohydrates. I feel helpless and don't know who to turn to for advice. I'd really appreciate your help. Afan from Ipoh. You can write your answers in the same Google form. Just click the link below. The link is given below here. When you click on the Google form, you can see the exercises. So this is Full Blast Unit 8 and the topic is Image. So reading comprehension exercises for Unit 8. So you have your email, you have your name and your class, and then you have the exercises. C, reading comprehension, and then the answers are there. So you have to scroll for the answers, and then, for example, if you think the answer is A, just click on A. Okay, and then for D, this is the matching exercise. You can write the answer. For example, you think conform is to change something so that it's not exactly true. For example, just click here. So you have your answers. And then you have to move to the next one. Okay, you can see that you cannot move to the next one until you fill in all the particulars. Okay, because all the answers are necessary. Okay, this question requires 1 response per row. And also the same here, you have to answer. And then when you answer the matching for reading comprehension, you can scroll to the left and right to find the meanings. And then you go to section 2, write a letter giving advice. The last part you have, read the letter from Afan and write a letter giving advice to him regarding his problem. So the question is here, and then you can start typing here where you have long answer text. Okay, you can click here and type your answer. We have reached the end of our lesson for today. I hope you have benefited from this lesson, and then you could learn Unit 8 from the Full Blast textbook. That's all. Thank you. Signing off. I'm Teacher Gan. Bye bye.